Hello again, Samantha Kate here. Hope you can see me. The sun is reflecting, the rain is reflecting on my glasses. I thought I'd try and go and sit in a different area. There we go. How's that? So here we are, part two of my weight loss journey. Part one was more about me and the makeup I was wearing and why I was wearing what I was wearing and why we started talking about the diet. So in 2014, I lost 4.5 stone, which is about 64 kilos. I wish. 64 pounds. I'm really sorry, 64 pounds, about 30 kilos. I had been overweight for over 20 years. I had my children, and with each child, I put on more and more weight. I struggled terribly. I hated it. I went up and down, never much though. You know, I'd lose maybe 15 pounds or a stone and I'd put it all back on again. I really struggled. And then one day I woke up and I thought, I'm going to lose weight. Spontaneously. It all started in March, April of 2014. And I started walking with some friends 3 times a week. We just chatter and gossip and have a great laugh, and about 5 or 6 girls, and sometimes with kids, sometimes with dogs. We'd walk 5 miles 3 times a week around the town. You should have seen us. It was a sight. We were formidable. And that, that started happening. It became regular. And then a couple of weeks later, a friend of mine said, I'm going to give up, sober May, I'm going to give up drinking. Do you want to do it with me? I said, yeah, let's do it. And so we're going to give up for a month, I think it was. And I ended up giving up for a long time, about 9 months. And in that time, I decided to really lose the weight. I didn't put an end on it. I didn't put a number on it. I just said, I'm going to lose weight. And it was the best thing I've ever done. Obviously, that much weight on somebody that's that short is not good. It's not healthy. We know that. And, lots of aches and pains. I was always ill. There's always something. I was miserable. I was a couch potato. I didn't do anything. And it was a vicious circle of me feeling really crappy about myself because of the weight, and then feeling so crappy that I didn't do anything about it. But yes, this time I did. And one of the things was I was going to be a grandma the next year. The following May, I was going to be blessed with a beautiful granddaughter. And that was another thing. I didn't want to be too big to look after her, Even though I ran around the kids when they were young, I was obviously getting older, and I was working full-time, still working full-time. I was struggling. I always liked doing fitness. I just never seemed to be able to do it continuously. I was always trying and I'd always fail. And I just don't know what it was. Well, I do know what it was. Unfortunately, ladies, you might not want to hear this, but if you really want to succeed, give up the alcohol, really cut it down. That's the biggie. When people said to me, God, Sam, how did you lose so much weight? I said, I stopped drinking wine. Because you have a drink full of empty calories, then you eat crap, then you feel crap, and then you eat crap. So, it's never, you want to eat loads of carbs, loads of sandwiches, toast and fry-ups, and you want, all that stuff. You eat crap when you get home, you wake up in the morning with your face in a kebab. I only did that once or twice now. Pizza, all that lovely, horrible stuff. I think is horrible now, obviously. So that was the biggie. I gave up the drinking. And then so I was walking, I was exercising, I'd given up drinking, and then I downloaded my Fitness Pal app. Best thing I ever did. Again, another best thing I ever did. And I put in my weight, and I put in my my height, all the stuff you normally do, and it gave me 1,200 calories a day. Fine. And I just followed that, and every time I'd fill it, I'd do a daily record of what I ate, pop in everything, it would count it. I'd press enter and it would tell me what I could weigh in 5 weeks. And that was brilliant. Whether I did weigh that in 5 weeks, it didn't matter. The fact that I could see something, I could see a goal, and it was wonderful because um, I didn't have what I wanted to weigh. What I always wanted to weigh was 69 kilos, which was 10 stone 12. That was my goal forever, because when I fell pregnant with my daughter, who is 30 tomorrow, yes, 30 years ago, I was 69 kilos. And I was quite happy then. So I suppose about size 10 to 12. And that was a normal size. Although I lived in Holland and everyone was about size 8 and about 9 foot tall. So I always felt like I was the biggest one anyway. So that was, in my mind, that was a goal, or 72 kilos or 70, there were these goals. When I lived in New Zealand, this was just before I started this journey. This was the summer before. I started getting really fit. We lived basically 2 minutes walk from the beach and the rocks. I went running and walking every day. Didn't particularly mega healthy, but I didn't eat loads of junk. Was drinking there, very cheap wine and booze and everything. And that was, we were on holiday / living there. So, we were paying bills and we were, it was living there. My ex-husband was working all the time and I was on my own, which, that can be quite lonely. But I filled my days up sort of walking on the beach, doing exercises. So I did really get quite fit there. And I came back and just sort of fell into the old ways of eating too much junk, drinking too much. So this was back in 2013. So it was the following year that I realised, actually, no, I really want to change. I really do want to change. I was so fit back then. So March, I started walking. Around May, I give up the drink and started calorie counting. And then, so what I ate whilst I was calorie counting was quite low carb, low fat, and I wouldn't say low calorie. I mean, some days I did only eat 1,000 calories, but it didn't worry me. It didn't make me ill. I had quite a lot of energy because I was putting the work in and I was making sure I was really energized. I was eating quite good food. I was eating quite high protein. I had, generally, a breakfast would be some fruit or yogurt. My lunch would be a salad if I had salad. And my dinner would be probably a piece of fish and some roasted veggies, or a big salad with lots of chicken or fish or prawns. And I did live quite easily on chicken and tzatziki wraps that my children still have nightmares about. So it would be a Weight Watchers wrap or 2 Weight Watchers wraps. They're about 100 calories each, about 100 calories, 150 calories worth of chicken, some tzatziki, a load of salad, some sweet chili sauce. And that was me. I was happy with that, really happy. And if I wanted a dessert, that would be a very, very low fat yogurt, or a couple of, and for a treat, a couple of pieces of very dark chocolate, the sea salt chocolate, the Lindt one, which I absolutely love. I still eat that now sometimes. And possibly some nuts, maybe some Weight Watchers crisps. From the pound shop, used to get a bag of 6, and they were just 88 calories or something, very low calorie. But I didn't have those a lot. I really was careful. Sometimes I didn't have breakfast, sometimes I didn't have lunch. And I kept on going. And because, it was burning the fat off of me, because I wasn't burning a lot of sugar, a lot of carbs, because I wasn't eating that much. The fat, everything just sort of like, sorry about my neck being painful today. I really burnt the calories off. So it was 1,200 calories a day, walking 3 times a week, plus extra exercises in the house. I did kettlebell lifting, maybe a few minutes, not a huge amount of weight training or HIIT. I do that a bit more now. I think it suits me. And I was on my feet all day at work. And yeah, by October, I'd lost 10.5 stone. I got down to 10.5 stone. I was really, really happy. unfortunately, I have to bring this up, in at the end of October that year, when I'd lost all my weight, my marriage of 25 years broke up. And that's all I'll say about that. I became quite, I had a bit of mania, really, I think. Instead of going into a dark depression, I became quite manic. And I didn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I was completely hyper at all times. I couldn't even sit down. I couldn't concentrate on watching the telly. I just listened to music. I had a great family and friends around. You know, obviously I had to look after the kids, and people would say, "Well, are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." I was like, "Ross, I'm fine." I didn't cry. I don't know. I just, some say, took over and said, "Sam, this is how you survive. You get manic." You know, I didn't. Some people can just sleep and cry. It didn't happen. I did have terrible anxiety going out. I couldn't be left alone. I either slept, well, laid at my friend's house, or my family stayed with me, my mum, my sisters. They were all, you know, they were all devastated. Anyway, that's by the by. In about a week, I lost 12 pounds. So I got down to about 9.5 stone, 9 stone 4, and I was tiny. It was lovely. I was about size 10, 8 to 10, I think. Really tiny. But of course it didn't last. That was mania. That was my metabolism was absolutely sky high. I just, I don't know how I got the energy. It just used any energy that I had stored, gone. It was wonderful because I did look fantastic, I must admit. But it came with a price. I wasn't very well. Emotionally unstable, probably. But so I, when I did start eating again in about January, so that was October. By sort of December, I was eating a little bit. I was really trying, but nothing was happening. And by December, I did look pretty scrawny and quite unhealthy. Bit gaunt, as you get older, you need sort of a bit of plumpness, don't you, really, to carry anything off. I'm going to put my glasses back on. Sorry about not being able to see my eyes. And I just put that half a stone back on, which is fine, about 10 stone 3. I'm really happy there, between 10 and 10.5 stone. That's me, size 12. I'm really happy with that. Like I said in my other videos, I do wear clothes that are a size 10, 12 and a 14. That's just it, isn't it? I don't have scales anymore. I just go by my clothes size, or how I look, how I feel. I know now. And in fact, talking of scales, I got up a couple of weeks ago and I knew I'd lost a bit of weight. You feel it. You can see it. You can feel it. I could fit things on, and I thought, oh my God, I must have lost so much weight. I stood up, so I felt fantastic, and I could see that I'd lost weight. I stood on the scales, and I hadn't lost more than £1. And so for the rest of the day, instead of going, I've lost like a dress size, which it was about, a good dress size over a couple of weeks, I just said I haven't lost any weight. So, but what I was doing, I was building muscle. I was eating protein. I was burning any sugar. I was burning fat, but I was building muscle because I was doing my HIIT and weight training and working my muscles. Yet the scales told me I'd only lost, say, £1, and that's what I fixated on. So those scales went. They've gone. They've gone. They're not in my bathroom. That's the one thing. It's gone. If I feel like buying scales again, which I might do, I will. But if not, I'm not really concerned now. It's a long journey. So just to get back to how I lost the weight, I calorie counted. I did a lowish carb, low fat diet to get all of that weight off. Since then, I did go up and down a bit. Obviously, you don't just lose weight and it stays off forever. Magic. No, you have to work forever. You have to be careful all the time. And I'm not the only person. I don't know anybody that has lost a significant amount of weight and has just had an easy ride and eat what they want afterwards. You don't. That's how you got there in the first place, isn't it? So So going back to drinking, when I in about January, I started sort of like dating, and I didn't drink anything. I did I did it all sober. All this never. Oh my goodness, what a joke! Going on dates sober. I don't know how I did it, and then I did meet somebody, and I'd have a glass of wine here and there, and then all of a sudden, another dreadful thing happened over the Christmas period, unfortunately, and I did start smoking again. I didn't smoke for a while. And then I did have a drink again because there was something dreadful that happened, and very sad, very difficult time. And actually, I started drinking more to escape from it. Not only had my 25-year marriage broke up that I was very happy in, one of my children got seriously ill. He's fine. He's fine now. But to go through that, I think I did hit the bottle a bit. I can't blame myself either, really. It's unfortunate that this happened. Anyway, he's fine. And it carried on after, for about a year. We were going through this, and 5 years, and of course I did start putting a bit of weight on. Never got too bad. Never got too bad. It was more, I'd never be that svelte 9.5 stone thing that I was when I was manic. But there you go. Of course, I was only like that for about a week or two. Anyway, it's getting on a bit. I'm going to try and make this a little bit shorter than the last one. So now so this was 2014, 2015, I stayed about the same. And then in 2016, I met my now husband. And we would go out and eat what we wanted, go on holiday, do this, do that. And slowly but surely, I did put a bit of extra weight on, about 1.5 stone. And then we got married, and I lost a bit of weight for that. You always do for your wedding, don't you? But I generally stayed around the 11 stone mark, about size 14, which didn't seem to bother me. I wasn't really concerned. And then the Christmas of 2018, I think, maybe 2019. What year is it? Yes. I ended up really sort of putting a bit too much weight, and I got to sort of like 11 stone 12. And I thought, right, I've got to do something about this. And I joined Slimming World, which, it's really good for some people. Some people really enjoy it. But I find that I have a gluten intolerance. Weeds, I'm allergic to weeds. I can't eat starch. I can't really eat potatoes. I've got to be really careful with certain foods. Beans, I've got to be careful. I've just got to be careful. I can't eat too much of something. I get really bad gastritis. I get stomach problems, IBS, just like really bad. Crouched, can't stand up straight overnight. Last time I was off work was about 3 or 4 years ago, and I had gastritis from something I ate, and I was ill for days. I couldn't even stand. So I've got to be really careful. I can't have time off work for anything, really. So I found the keto diet. Like I said, I tried Slimming World. It didn't really work for me. I always lose 1/2 stone, then put it back on. And I was drinking, obviously, at the same, I was drinking alcohol. And say 3 years ago, I found the keto diet, and I've been on keto diet now, with the odd mess up and holiday and bit time off, for 3 years, and it works so well for me. Look up keto diet. I will go into it in another time, but I really wanted to tell you how I lost the first lot of weight. That was before my food intolerances got sort of like, I was always bloated and always ill. And now I know that it's because I can't eat gluten, or so that's wheat, barley, what's the other thing? Malt. I've got to be really careful. Like if I was to have a beer, even a low alcohol beer, I've got to be really careful what I have. Gosh, it's a minefield. Now, though, lots of restaurants are doing gluten-free. They're really, really good. They do lots of vegan, lots of gluten-free, really catering for everybody. last year I went to Brighton and everything was gluten-free. Didn't even have to ask. It's already gluten-free. And now restaurants and cafes around here are really doing well. I think they have to. You know, after that poor girl died from eating something that was made her ill, and is it pret-a-manger? Restaurants have to really be careful. I'm a chef cook at a care home, and I have to really be on top of all of my allergens all the time. You know, I mean, need to make sure I check everything and have them up to date. So I know that if somebody comes in, I can look after them properly and safely. Anyway, that's by the by. Here we are, 20 minutes in, and I still haven't really got onto keto. So yeah, I really wanted to tell you about my weight loss journey. So that was my first weight loss journey and my big glow up. You know, I was so happy, a completely different person. Unfortunately, my marriage broke up when I finally got to be this person I wanted to be. But I've got a new man, so that's really good, and I'm very happily married now. So yes, the keto diet. So I went on the keto diet and I lost I got down to sort of like 10 stone, just under 10 stone, about 9 stone 13, I think. At the moment, I'm just over 10 stone, between 10 and 10 and a half, I seem to, and I'm okay with that. You know, like I said, the last 6 months to a year, I'm going through menopause, so perimenopause. But I really think, I'm hoping I'm there now. And I did put on like weight in certain places, certain areas, like my hips now. I've gone from being sort of apple shaped to a bit more rounded down there, so a bit more hourglass shape, which is quite nice, but I'm still thick waisted. I've got the lovely what do we call estrogen tire. You know, estrogen likes to live in belly fat, so it's going to hold on to that belly fat for as long as possible, no matter what you do. But yes, so anyone that's on a weight loss journey, you just keep going. It's not the diet that doesn't work, really. It's you that just you need to keep on and be consistent. You need to keep an eye on things. I get very lazy and I'm like, oh, it's the weekend. No, Sam, don't do it. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean you can put a load of weight back on, which, you know, is inevitable, really, that you can't stick to something. Some people can, you know, really hard, you know, but for 3 years, you know, of doing it, you do drop off. You know, so in the last year, 400 and odd days ago, I gave up smoking and drinking. And I went straight on strict keto because I knew that I had to do something. So this is when I really got back to grips with keto, and I lost sort of like a good 1.5 stone that I put on. And obviously not drinking really helps. You know, that's a biggie. That's because your body is going to burn the alcohol off first. It's a really good fuel, isn't it? Alcohol is a fuel. It is. And so it's going to burn that off first, then it's going to burn the sugar, and then it's going to burn the fat. So if you take alcohol away and you lower your sugar, your fat's going to burn off. Also, like I said before, alcohol equals eating crap, eating rubbish whilst you're drinking, and after you're drinking when you're feeling crap. So yeah, I lost a good sort of, I think it's about 1.5 stone, and I'm pretty much keeping it off. Last summer I was a little bit thinner, but in the summer I generally am. I'm slightly slimmer. I seem to have a bit of a spurt in about May, where I just, like April, May, the weather's nice, I go out a bit more, I think, oh, what can I wear, some nice clothes. And in winter I don't tend to put on a little, sort of like maybe 0.5 stone, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna make myself miserable because I'm 0.5 stone more than I want to be. I've lost over 4 stone. And I am generally keeping it off. You know, like I say, I do yo-yo, but I've never put it all back on again. You know, some people do, they lose it all and then they put it all back on again. But I'm pretty much, the last year or so, I've stuck around I'm possibly half a stone, £7, that is, for anyone, £7, between £5 and £7 more than I want to be. And I know that I can lose that quite easily. But at the moment, I'm okay. I'm happy at that, at size 12 in general. So I'd say I'm medium size 12. Um, I carry all most of my weight at the top. So I do, when you can get 3 size 12 women up, and they're all different shapes and sizes. Some are really tall and skinny, some are really short and fat. That's just the way of it. And I'm lovely. Oh, medium sized. I mean, how many, to be overweight for over 20 years and struggle, and to just dream of being a size 16, a UK size 16 or a US size 12, to dream of being medium sized and not having to buy an extra large. I still buy a large. I mean, well, you saw that shirt today, extra large. No, I'm a medium and I'm a size 12, basically. It's the clothes. Like I said, the clothes, you can go into 3 different shops. You can go into one shop and be 3 different sizes. I've been there in Primark. So that's really a bit of my weight loss journey. I will do another part of this weight loss series. Let's call it weight loss series. So there will be a part 3 of the keto diet, the low carb diet, the Atkins diet. It's all, basically the same. It is the low carb, high fat diet, the sugar-free diet, and that means all sugars. Your body doesn't know the difference between a slice of bread and a Mars bar. It turns into glucose for energy. I am studying holistic nutrition, and I have been, so I am officially studying that, but unofficially I've been studying nutrition and holistic nutrition for a long time now. And it's really good that it's coming out how bad sugar is, that it wasn't the fat, it was the sugar that was killing you. It was the sugar that was causing the type 2 diabetes, not the fat. But there's a lot of really, really good studies out there now, and the big medical papers are starting to see that this is a way of eating, and how it's helped so many people lose weight and really get that, and change their diabetes type 2. They've had to stop taking the medications they need for that, because they've lost the weight, because their insulin is now under control. I'm just speaking for people that I have spoken to online on a Facebook group, and they, it's through their experience of being overweight, or not even that overweight. Some people do keto and they're not overweight, but they still got type 2 diabetes. How that being on the ketogenic diet, and which is a sugar-free diet, has reversed their type 2 diabetes. Like I say, I'm in no way medically trained, though I am a first aider. So I can't really say, this is from, I'm not going to say to you, good Lord, you can cure your diabetes. No, you go to the doctor, please. Diabetes type 1 is completely different kettle of fish, really. But if you are pre-diabetic, insulin resistance, which I definitely have, going through any symptoms, like if I eat sugar, I get lots of cramps and my blood sugars are all over the place. I get very irritable. I get really, moody, anxiety. As soon as I go on the ketogenic diet, which is I'm not using sugar, I'm using fat to body fat and burning ketones, my anxiety just basically disappears. I have an odd bit. My sleep is brilliant. My mood is better. I don't have mood swings. I don't from the sugar up and down. You get that. It suits me. It suits me personally, and the people I speak to that have done the ketogenic diet, that are on it, it suits them. If you if you're on a different diet and it suits you, you carry on. And I'm really, I'm really thrilled that you found a way of eating and found a way of keeping yourself healthy, because, diet is so important, isn't it? Really, to our all over, holistic health. It is, it's, the brain and the gut are very much in tune with each other. And when I'm not eating correctly, if I'm not eating the right foods, I can tell my brain doesn't work very well at all. So, good nutrition, you can find it. My food pyramid may be, and my eat well plate may be completely different than yours, but it's my personal eat well. I eat greens, I eat berries, I eat dairy, I eat meat, I eat fish, and I eat good fats. And I have cream, I have double cream, I have full fat butter, I have olive oil, I have lots of avocados, I have fatty meats, I have lean meats. So that's my general diet, really. Right, here we are at 30 minutes and I've probably gabbled on far too much. If you'd like to know anything else, please ask, because if I haven't got any specific things to talk about, I will witter on. This is me, like I said before, bit of a chatterbox. It was lovely doing this. I will try and have some maybe different things. Look, that's it. That's my notes. 5 lines, 5 or 6 lines, and I probably didn't eat. Oh no! Please, this is not 5 or 6 lines. This is for a Chinese takeaway meal we had a couple of months ago. It's not even my notes. Where are my notes? Oh God. Well, there you go. That proves that maybe the keto diet's not working because my brain. Anyway, so that wasn't my notes. That was the Chinese takeaway. I have the vermicelli rice because I can eat rice. It's the only carb I can eat without being really, really sick. The rest was my husband's. Anyway, so here we are. Oh dear. That's the end of my very long video. Again, it was half an hour, but there we go. I will really try and do something. When I get to do this video is only about this recipe, or only about this diet, or only about this makeup, or this one outfit, or this haul, yes, I will try my hardest to keep them down. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If, like I say, please put some questions in if you've got them. And I will, I've probably made loads of mistakes. I can't edit yet, so you've just got me, no filter at all, on the mouth or on the face. So please comment, please subscribe, please like, and I will endeavour to learn how to edit the videos. Bye bye. Please give me a thumbs up. Bye.